Tim writes in and asks, is it okay to turn his East End home into an Airbnb? And there's some new information that's just come out even today in the Louisville area. Are you up on that part of it, Chuck?
I am. I noticed that they pushed it forward for the partial council pushed it forward to modify the existing regulation, so it'll come to a full council vote next month. They're attempting to do a few things, change up the requirements, oddly, because to try and protect established residential areas and the affordability and availability of rental housing. It sounds almost like the hotel lobby has engaged in some double speak there. But anyhow, they're looking to change a few things. Foremost among those are changing the wording from host to owner on short-term rentals. The ability to do it is easier if you have a host who lives in the property. They're changing the word from host to owner. So you have to actually live in the house. They're also changing it so that if you're going to do it new, you have to have lived in the property for at least 6 months. It seems in my mind that relates more to carriage houses, and whether or not you're doing a short-term rental with a carriage house, which isn't where the owner or host lives, because the owner host lives in the main house. So there's that. Plus, there's a few other things. They're raising the fees, making it more difficult to do this, limiting the number of people that you can do. So is it okay to put an Airbnb in the East End? Well, yeah, but you're going to have a very regulation blocked way to get it. Now, it's possible to do it. People are doing it all the time.
Right.
It's just getting more and more difficult.
Well, it's not just that. Let me add to that. So anybody who's considering or has an Airbnb, your ears should be burning right now. You need to take note of this and start getting involved if you're just cruising along. Up in New York, the Big Apple, after a recent court ruling, a new law set goes into effect next week, this coming week, which will outlaw tens of thousands of Airbnb listings overnight. In a blow for the undisputed king of short-term rentals, the law will enact some of the strictest regulations in the U.S. on September 5, moving options for travelers. It's removing them for travelers and shutting off the revenue streams for investors and other hosts who are currently making money through the platform. That's all I'm going to go into it on the New York side, because we've already...
That's New York.
Exactly.
Louisville's getting more difficult. It's not terribly difficult now. I have a personal friend who was able to kick one through with little to no trouble. Have another client who is still trying to get the permit. Of course, different scenarios. A lot of it seems, in my mind, to hinge on the number of people you're trying to get in there. But the one thing that I saw that really kind of struck a little fear into my heart was the fact that if you have two substantiated criminal or civil citations for the property in any 12-month period, they shall arbitrarily revoke your ability to use it as a B&B or an Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing their very darndest to prevent these things from
going on.
My question is why?
Well,
why?
I think you hit it. The hotel industry.
That's got to be it.
That's the only thing driving, or neighbors who don't want traffic going through their neighborhood. That could be, of course, be possible, right?
Yeah, and that's true. And I lived in an area where they put an Airbnb up one time, and everybody went nuts. But it was because they thought these guys were going to be a bunch of frat bros throwing, keggers and things like that.
Yeah, well, that wasn't true, right?
Yeah, it's not true. I'm going to go with my conspiracy theory on here. As liberal as I tend to be, this doesn't sound to me anything like preserving neighborhoods.
And we're watching other states, including New York, because as New York goes, it could be sweeping across the country at this point. So, okay,